Think about human DNA as a massive, continuous manuscript. It is a biological text that tells the entire story of our evolution. But if that genetic sequence were just an unbroken string of letters, it would be impossible for us to actually read the language. To make the code functional, DNA relies on physical markers known as terminators, or stop codons. They act exactly like biological punctuation marks. By creating a deliberate pause, they break up the chaos and give the sequence meaning. In the study of the gene keys, the 33rd archetype is one of these stop codons. Arriving at it is like wandering through a dense, disorienting forest and suddenly stepping out into a sunlit clearing to finally come up for air. If our biology requires these structural pauses to function, it stands to reason that our psychological lives cannot survive a state of endless momentum. In the modern world, we are caught in a rush of forgetting. We have become obsessed with constant forward movement, sprinting toward the next goal as if the movement itself were the only thing that mattered. When we blunder across clearings without stopping, we miss the specific opportunities to grow or connect. We fail to learn from trials, skipping opportunities to practice forgiveness or listen to our own bodies. We get so entirely absorbed in the plot rushing toward us that we fail to engage with what has already gone past. Without these pauses to process our experiences, life begins to feel intolerably heavy rather than purposeful. Ancient Chinese culture developed a term for the psychological equivalent of a genetic stop codon, huigen. It describes the specific practice of reflecting sweetly on a past event, giving it time and focus to draw sustenance from it. While a retreat usually implies leaving your life behind, huigen can be integrated directly into your daily actions. The retreat exists within the action itself. You can take a mundane activity, like the simple act of drinking a cup of tea, and turn it into a powerful ritual of presence. By approaching the task with intentional imagination, you make the mundane magical. This practice allows you to harvest your life as you live it. Without these intentional moments of reflection, the day remains unlived and unloved, leaving you with nothing to show for your efforts but exhaustion. We spend most of our energy worrying about a future we haven't reached. The 33rd gene key suggests a counterintuitive shift. Turn around and look out the rearview mirror. This isn't about dwelling on regret. It is an active search for the most transcendent moments from yesterday or your childhood, the sweet, magical highlights that you've forgotten in the rush. Conjuring these memories floods your body with serenity, imprinting fine moments back into yourselves. Intentionally forgive your moments of forgetting. Let difficult memories wash away and only keep the harvest of your best self. Harvesting the past in this way actually deepens your intimacy with the present. It softens the edges between people and creates an opening for more meaningful dialogue. Over time, these daily harvests accumulate. They build a repository of memory that eventually leads to a final macro expression, the ultimate cosmic stop codon, known as revelation. This state has a distinct autumnal flavor. Just as a tree drops its leaves for the winter, the soul begins an inventory of the journey and prepares to let go of its attachment to the physical world. In this stage, you realize that the suffering you endured was actually a tool. It was the sweet nectar life used to hone your character and purify your path. The final step is to surrender the inventory itself. You empty yourself out, allowing the personal story to drift away so that your eternal nature can merge back into the silence. The trials were never random. They were the necessary preparations for this final, bittersweet release. Every ending in our story is a deliberate design feature, ensuring that we eventually find rest in the deep. When you look at your own life today, try to recontextualize the struggles you are facing. View your current difficulties as the specific nectar required to purify you for who you are meant to become. You don't have to wait for the end of the story to find this perspective. You can initiate a structural stop codon this afternoon. Take the time to make a cup of tea. Sit in the clearing of the present moment, look backward, and consciously harvest the single best memory of your day. The beginning and the end of the human story curl into one another. By mastering the intentional pause today, you are actively preparing yourself for the beautiful silence of eternity.